Hey there, this is Mr. Papu with your directions for the reading slide. So you should have already listened to chapter one and followed along in your book or read the chapter on your own. So those were your two choices. So now that you've read the chapter, let's look at our learning target and what we have to do for our learning slides. So for reading, the learning target, I always pick the wrong side. Oh, no, no. Is it? Oh my gosh. Reading target is right here. It says, I can identify details about a story's character using evidence from the text and pictures. So let's remember a character is a person or an animal or a person or an animal that the story is about. So in Chobota Sandbox, we've met three characters. There's other characters at the end, but they're like a mystery right now. But our three main characters are going to be Theo, Izzy, and Josh. So today we're going to look at a character map and kind of look at one specific character like we did with Izzy, but this time we're going to look at Theo and kind of see what information do we have that we learned about Theo from the reading today. So the directions are look back on today's reading. So you can either go back to the book and read it on your own or listen to it again. And then I want you to pick out three details you know about Theo. You're going to click and type into the pink circles. So in order to click and type, let's remember you have to be in edit mode. Edit mode means that there you can see all the slides. It's not presenting. So if you hit present, it'll fill up your whole screen. One second, mine's just loading. And it's still loading, and it's still loading, and it's still loading, and it's almost loaded. All right. So this is what I'm talking about when it says present mode. You can't type in the circles when it looks like this. So you have to hit escape, ESC, in the top left corner of your keyboard. Or, just hit ESC in the top corner of your keyboard and make sure it's in edit mode. So now that it's in edit mode, now I can type in the details from my reading. So you should have your book, but I'm going to pretend like I have my book. So this is my book. I'm going to go to page 4 and I'm going to look back in my book and it says, today they were making a volcano. Izzy had started it and already it was huge. Josh and Theo were helping her. They had a couple of the big toy trucks. Izzy dug out the sand with a plastic spade. She was making a river for the volcano. As she dug, Theo and Josh loaded the trucks up with sand. They put the sand in a big pile at the far end of the sandbox. So, on this page, I'm learning about Izzy. She's playing, which we talked about before, but Theo is also helping her and Theo is also working with Josh, and they're all kind of working together. So I can type in, click on the pink circle, and I'm going to type in because after reading that, I can tell that Theo works well with others. That is too dark and too big. So I'm going to adjust the font real fast by clicking bold. I don't want it to be bold and I want it to be smaller. Okay, so now I know from after reading that, so Josh and Theo were helping her. Theo and Josh loaded the trucks up with sand and they brought the sand to the big pile. So Theo works well with others after reading that detail. And I found that detail on page 4. So I can put works well with others, and then page. When you talk about like page, I just type PAGE, page 4. So back to our learning target. So I found details about and they're about Theo, the story's character, And now, when I put my page where I found the information, that's how I show evidence from the text and pictures. I used the words, so that's the text. So that's my evidence from the text. The picture on this page 4 doesn't really tell me anything about Theo, so I can't use that as evidence as to tell me to give me details about what I know about Theo. Just looking at the picture doesn't help me, so I had to actually read the words and find information about Theo. So now I filled in that first circle. Your job will be to fill in the other 3. All right. Let's see. I think that's all I had for you. Let me know. Remember, go back to the Google Meet, pop into Google Meet if you have any questions.